Sounds good.
This is Dr. J and Professor Spike, streaming live from Long Island, New York. We're going to talk stocks. We're going to look at little TA. We're going to share our mistakes. We're going to share our winners. We're going to share everything.
Yeah.
Open and honest.
Lots to share. Lots to share with mistakes. Not so much to share the other way.
And MA was the first to arrive with a big shalom, followed by Dan's shalom. And Dan is back into BCRX for the earnings run up next week. Good move, Dan. Dan's got the moves. Sean, always with a good morning. Andrew, good morning. He's greeting everybody. That's wonderful.
Hello, everybody.
Andrew, I know you're a big Novus supporter. Sorry that it collapsed on us all, and what are you going to do? Such is the life of a stock market trader.
Yes.
Good morning, Sean, says Dan. TGTX, BCRX, XBI are all buys this week. So Dan is shelling out a little shekels.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Oh, sure.
Amazon said that the future's not so great for them.
That timing is dubious.
Dubious.
Dan says, I stated the AD plays were too volatile during conference.
Yeah, he did.
Afterwards.
He told us we should sell until the conferences are over.
I will attest to the fact that Dan said sell off after the conference.
No, during.
I quoted Dan on Wednesday's show. Did I not?
Yes.
I quoted him.
Well, we didn't listen.
You've been officially quoted, Dan. This was we went through that. I'm not going to put that up twice. That would be
good question.
Not nice to put that up twice. Novus, where's the gap on a Novus? Is a Novus gap in the high?
We're gonna have to chart that one like for the one.
We're gonna chart
1 week by the hour, just to see if we
can
see.
Big Cats is looking for the dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce. Dan says 25. Probably on the chart will probably say that too, but I'm
well. They have something else coming out later. Maybe it'll actually be better composed. Because there's some there.
I'm going to remark about that data. It's not as bad as it seems.
So my problem is
Dan, yep, I remember it was a good call. I'm not going to play Novus again.
When you're 95 years old, how much does 25 days count?
AVXL, they seem relatively good.
Relatively.
They may be the best of the three. Yeah, you begin to wonder, like Sean says, these drops scare you about that sector. It makes me think that nothing works. Does nothing work?
Oh yeah, well that's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people commenting, well, it's Alzheimer's.
Maybe nothing ever works.
It's Chinatown, Jake.
So
yes,
Andrew was looking for a bounce in Amazon. And Sean is still in Amazon. You'll get your money back eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts on Baba? Baba is not for me.
No, I'm still stuck with a lot of Chinese stuff too.
I'm not touching the Chinese stuff. AMD and Tesla and Neo taking profits on the recent bounce. I think that's a good move, actually.
Well, Neo took a lot already before it bounced back up.
Baba is a Chinese play, but really intriguing. It's not intriguing to those that are losing money every day. Trillion Reasons is with us today. Howdy, Trillion. I think Trillion is an Novus fan. Oh, we get an extra good morning from Sean. Isn't this your second good morning? And Night 2 is saying morning. And Regamarco, hi from Switzerland. How do you say hi in Switzerland? Switzerland.
You got me.
Switzerland. Good morning from the Green Mountain state of Vermont, says Cabinet Guy. Cabinet Guy is in charge of making sure Bernie gets out the door every morning. Professor Spike, your favorite is up.
Yeah, I know. I'm still holding it from way back when.
How about pins? I'm on pins and needles over pins. Pinterest. Pavam took a nice bounce to 7, I think, right? If we have time, we'll do it.
Okay.
Linda, you're not late. The show doesn't begin until you show up.
That's exactly right.
So you're not late. I can't hit everybody. We'll never be able to stop. Arthur says, okay, why not? Man, hi all. Did you add to Sava or just to Novus? MA, I thought I was a genius. I sold my Sava at 140, got back in yesterday at 107, which proves that I ain't no genius. And an Ovis, yes, I'm buying an Ovis and right now. I'm adding to my Novus. I basically, I'm a glutton for punishment. What could I tell you? Jiggly.
No.
Did Jake get next to the show? Wasn't he under contract? Jiggly, there's an opening. You want to fill it?
Yeah. There you go, Jake. It'll be your chance to shine as a
My adjectives are a little strong, so I do value your input and thanks for these comments.
Yeah, that's fine.
Boom, you can fire away at me. I have a tortilla. I have an armor like a tortilla. Tortilla. Whatever. I'm hard skinned. No problem. If I take your best shot, I don't give it two cents. Do you care what people say about you, Professor Spike?
I do, but that doesn't matter. This is showbiz.
They say that you're a nerd because you have
I have tape on
your glasses.
Yeah, I was looking for my better glasses so I wouldn't look like such a nerd, but I can't find them here, so I'm stuck.
The Magnificent Answer wants you to do something, Professor Spike. He wants you to ask me if I add to Sava too or just to Novus. I'm adding to everything. If I'm in it, I'm adding. I'm in it to win.
Yeah, not today, but I'm a little burnt from yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm adding today. We'll take a look at the charts.
Yeah.
Tom Markham out there, our Boston Red Sox fan. Good morning from Dallas. That could only be indubitably one of the longest usernames I've ever seen.
Indubitably.
Bo is with us.
Tilray.
And H-Gen, Humanigen fan.
You got a kindred spirit.
I'm taking some lumps on that one too. I've been taking a lot of lumps lately. I'm glad I pulled out of the market when I did, because the lumps would have been bumps instead of lumps. I don't know. It would have been worse than lumps. Don't compare athesis to CVM. We won't.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it.
Kevin,
Kevin wants to know about Tilray.
What are your thoughts here? We'll give Tilray.
We should definitely look at Tilray.
We charted it last time. I said do not chase it when it was at 16. I said it'll pull. If you really want to own it, you can get it at 14.50. I don't know what it's doing today. But that was my thinking. You not want to chase. Athesis data any day now, 2 years later. That's correct. It is correct. Data any day translates to 2 years later.
The Tilray's down today.
Linda, good swings, Jigs. She's encouraging Jiggly. I don't think Jiggly needs encouragement. But Jiggly has something nice to say about Linda. America loves Linda. She said, "Go black for the tie."
That's for the wedding.
Arjun's wedding. Pound sign on Arjun.
Yeah.
Arjun is in Central America climbing mountains or jungles. I don't know what he's doing.
Right.
Sean, can you take Cat as your plus one? I guess that's to the wedding, right?
Everything's for the wedding right now. Yeah.
Jiggly, great choice, says Sean. Jiggly, LOL. They're having a ball here today.
I know Jiggly always livens up the crowd.
Why guys are good, but where's that Vixen question?
Yeah.
Jiggly's got 6 more comments in a row. We'll skip down. Sean is commenting.
So he's still on JMIA.
Kevin Hart is here, says Sean.
Yeah, he wants the Tilray.
And Spoon is commenting, and MA wants to see Tilray. 1468 right now. My buy was 1450. So I suppose if you really put it to this, if you really have a desire to own this one, you're pretty close to my buy point. I'm not sure that I'm going to buy it because I'm not sure I want to own it. But if you have a strong desire to own it,
haven't you owned it since? Haven't you owned it since forever? I mean, I still owned it since before the merger.
The comments today are absolutely endless.
Yeah, but Kamal was like, "Let's get to the charts, please," and he's right. We should do that.
Yeah, somebody knew. Stephen Mercurio, Athos is getting early value.
Yeah, that's just making a little bit of a move.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we have to chart Athos. People want it.
We have to chart Athos. We have to chart Tilray. And of course, we have to chart some of these heartbreak plays.
All right. The fact that and let's take a look at the overall market. The S&P 500 is down 0.5%. The Dow is down 0.25%. The Nasdaq is down 0.75%, led by Amazon, of course. The Russell is down 0.25%. Crude oil is fractionally up. Gold is 0.5% down. Let's start with what do you want to start with? The RUT? We should look at the global picture.
Yeah, let's get rid of that comment. We can start looking at some stuff. Yes, and the RUT is as good a place as any.
What did Pete say?
He's looking at NMTR. I'm writing it down just in case we have time for it.
Maybe. We'll try to get to it. So, should we chart the RUT or IWM? I think I prefer IWM.
Yeah, so do I actually.
Oh, too late. We got the RUT.
Okay. Well, you have to show it. Oh boy, good question, Jiggly. I'm still in it too.
Down 6 points, 0.25%.
You have to share your screen, Dr. J.
All right, so again, we're in the middle of a trading range that really takes us all the way back to January 6, 2021. It's the beginning of the year. So since the beginning of the year, we are trading range bound. So it's as if we're treading water pretty much for the whole year. But I mean, we have a little gain from the 6 to where we are now, but it's probably less than 10%. I'm not going to calculate it, but that's not a big move. And the whole trading range is about 15%. So we're range bound.
Dr. J, are you sharing your screen?
No.
We can't see what you're seeing.
I'm very selfish.
Oh, okay. You're keeping it to yourself. Good
Keeping
enough.
that strictly for myself.
Okay.
No,
That's fine. I'm an audio.
I'm interesting. I'm just kidding. Just fun.
Actually, I'm a visual and an audio learner, so either way.
We're bumping up against 100 and the whatever average this is. The 100 and the 50 probably. I don't know. This is 100. This is the 50. So they look like they're basically together. They're serving as resistance. We're bumping up against it. So I think largely the next 5% move might be determined by whether or not we can cross the 50. If we cross the 50, I think we'll bang up against the highs of 2360. And if we go across that, then we're going to have a steaming melt up. On the other hand, if it can't cross the 50, comes back down to test the lows again, and then we're either trading range bound or in for a correction, one or the other. How many times can it test the bottom and hold? It's been doing it a lot, but at some point you think that not going to. I just want to switch to IWM because I know the numbers better.
Right. I mean, the shape's the
Down
same.
a little bit more than the Russell, which doesn't make sense. It's supposed to track the Russell 2000.
Yeah, well, somebody will get fired.
You see the trading range is very clear here. Very, very clear trading range. So it's 206 to 236. Well, actually, maybe a little under 236. Let's see what it says. 235, maybe 234, whatever. Roughly 30-point trading range, which is, like I said, 15%, right? From 230 points. Yeah, 15%. And right now, just similar picture to the ROT, basically the same picture. The 100 and the 50 are together, and that's resistance. It touched it yesterday and bounced back, and now it's touching it again and bounced back again. I don't like the candles. These two candles are not good, by the way. They're not bullish candles. The opposite of bullish.
Right.
What would be the opposite of bullish?
The opposite of bullish is non-bullish.
Okay. Well, we have two very non-bullish gravestone dojis forming. Yesterday was a small, tiny gravestone doji, and today's is a bigger upper shadow if it stays that way. So don't love the two candles in a row that we just got. Can't seem to cross the 50-100 resistance. I tried 2 days in a row and failed. If it takes out 215, I think we're going to retest the lows at 206. So I think there's weakness ahead here on the Russell and on the market, but it doesn't mean it's going to correct, unless it goes through that 206.
Right.
We're not going to correct. That alone is not a correction. That's just normal trading pattern to me.
Like you said, since the beginning of the year, it hasn't really decided what it's going to do long term.
207 back here in March. So, yeah, 207 back in March, 208 back in the end of March, and then we had recent drop.
It's one of the longest inflection points I've ever seen.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we had a drop to 209. So we have actually slightly higher lows, which is not a bad thing.
Mm.
But it keeps retesting these lows, so it's not going anywhere. The best you could say is the broad market is treading water while the S&P 500 rallies since the beginning of the year. I can do a comparison, can I not? I'm going to throw in the S&P.
Sure, you can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. You're right. So I threw in the S&P, and the S&P is this blue line, which is up 15% since when? Since roughly the beginning of the year. And it's a little mid-January, I got the picture, which is fine, end of January. At the same time, the Russell is up 4%. So there's a huge difference in performance between the broader market and the 500 best stocks in America. So, yeah, I mean, the market, basically the moral of the story is the market is not as strong as we are led to believe it is, period. Because 500 stocks is not the market now.
Right.
Just for the hell of it, I'll throw in the Dow while we're at it. Where's the Dow?
Probably that purple one.
Yeah, just under it, very close, 12.78%. Practically the same as the S&P. But there's a different story on the Russell, as you can clearly see. So I'm going to get rid of these drawings.
There we go, much cleaner.
Trying to get rid of them. Can't get rid of them now.
Well, they probably won't stay on the next.
I'm hitting clear drawings. Undo.
That's probably not a drawing. That's probably an index or a comparison.
Oh, yeah. So how do I get rid of it? Maybe click it again. Cancel. No. Maybe just click it.
Click on it and see what happens.
I can't get rid of it.
All right, well, we'll see what happens when we do the next chart.
All right. I hope it doesn't stay with me.
Right, we'll see. Well, then everything will be compared against the big indexes. Did you want to look at Tilray or no?
Yeah, we'll look at Innovis, Sava, Tilray, definitely. BCRX, definitely. Okay. Yeah, ATHX.
Right, your choice on how to let this flow.
Innovis is holding it in the high 30s. It has not collapsed anymore from the pre-market. I added a little Innovis at 38 in the pre-market.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah,
I know. I figured after getting burnt around 100 and change, that I didn't want to get burnt again.
I'm averaging in. I'll keep averaging in. I don't think the data was as bad as people think. In fact, I think the FDA will give the green light to a phase 3, almost without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I think that will give it a pop. Now, the question is, do they go with Parkinson's drug or do they go with the Alzheimer's?
It actually didn't. Overall, it wasn't as effective on Parkinson's, except it did better than the placebo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but the trouble with Parkinson's in this 14-person study, there's a tremendous placebo effect with Parkinson's drugs. If you give me a new pill and say, try it, the first time I try it, I think I'm cured. Right. But like 2 or 3 days later, It's just another pill. So there's a tremendous placebo effect. And
Well, I
in a
mean,
very short time period, how long was the trial?
well, they were doing 25-day metrics, which, like I said,
25
somebody
days.
who's 70, somebody's in their 70s, 25 days on a medicine, it seems a little shy, but that's what the metric is in this industry.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
so yeah,
think
you're right. You might be able to distinguish between the placebo effect and the regular effect in 25 days, but you can't really say, anything about the major drug unless you can. I mean, I'm not a doctor. Nonetheless, it was showing positive impact, and it was still showing something anecdotal against the placebo. So when they have more data with more than 14 people, because they have a 40-day study coming, we don't know what's going to happen. It may all be still bad news. It might be good news. But for me, it didn't seem worth throwing it into the crapper just yet.
Yeah, and for Alzheimer's, there was a lot of mixed metrics. Some of the metrics were much better than the others.
I mean, if anybody's going to say anything, maybe they just shouldn't have presented in the first place because they didn't have enough data to present. But I guess they wanted to put their name out there, but they really weren't ready. The presentation itself, I understand, was a bit sloppy. I saw some of the charts were a little misleading. So, maybe that was the mistake. And, you look, apparently by looking at this chart, you pay for your mistakes. So the question is, how much of that run-up that you see there on the screen was appropriate and how much was not appropriate? Maybe, maybe this is about where it should be, and that the run-up was the wrong thing.
Well, let me just go back to the TA. If it fills the gap is fill would be 2640. 2640 is the key gap. So the way it's been showing weakness, it will either fill that gap or look for support at the 200-day, which is not much difference, I don't think. I'm not sure where the 200-day is. What was the low of the day today? 35 was the low of the day today. It's getting, 26, 35. It's not that far off. And the 200-day, let's see where the 200 moving average is. The 9, the 50, the 100. The 200-day is at the end. So the 200-day is 33.20. So it almost hit the 33.20 today. So, whether or not we bottomed is very hard to say, but I would probably say not yet. I think what you can expect is a new trading range from the high of this candle, let's say from the open of this candle, $60,
right,
to probably 20 something. And it's going to take a few months before it can get back up there to the $60 level. My target, short, by the end of the year, $60 is my target. I think there's a lot of upward potential. I think there's downward potential short term to $25 to $6. But I do think phase 3, which will start before the end of the year, will give it a tremendous shot in the arm. So if you're talking phase 3 and the FDA gives permission, the day they give permission, sign off on their study, is the day that this thing starts jumping. If there's a phase 3 to be had, it will be jumping.
Trillion Reasons was saying that, despite all of this reaction in the price, there is some movement on the medicine. I mean, the medicine is doing something, and that's good news. Whether or not it's profitable news is a different story.
Yeah, and also there's no clue as to whether or not, one of the important things is if you can't reverse it, can you at least stop it in its tracks? And that maybe you just maybe you could do that, or at least slow it down significantly because it's progressive, both of them, Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
But
So
I mean, is that really at this point in history? Is that I mean, I was just thinking that these pills would provide an accommodation, despite the fact that you have this debilitating disease. But if people are really talking about cures, then and these things are actually close to providing them, that would be amazing. Maybe I'm
yeah,
just being a little pessimistic
I
about
don't
things.
think there's any hope from Innovis or Sava for a cure, but I do think there's hope for stopping it in its tracks. So wherever you are at the time you start taking these pills, maybe it could just not get worse. And Sava has a blood test, right? A diagnostic that will spot Alzheimer's very early without having to take an MRI. So that's a big thing.
Now,
Just,
a lot of people are wondering if the bad news was at Zenovis and Sava had relatively good news, why did Sava get hit when, say, AVXL and Biogen did not in the same
I
kind of way?
don't know. Let's take a quick look at Sava. But the chart is interesting, where we basically almost tested support at the 200, and it's moving up rather nicely now to 39.97. So as we speak, it's coming back a little bit. Let's look at Sava.
Funny. Everybody's talking. Yeah, cocktails is the way everybody talks when they're having trouble.
Sava collapsed from my 107 that I got into as low as what? Let's say it's reloading on me. Pre-market, I think it was even lower than 88.
It got creamed worse than Innovis, believe it or not.
Well, it was 140 when I sold it. I think it went into the 140s.
Right.
Let's see. It hit 146, and the low today was 84.71. That's not half. The Novus is cut more than in half.
Okay.
So Novus got slaughtered worse. But this is a pretty bad butchering, considering they're not the ones with the bad data.
Right.
Yeah, it really got butchered because it was probably too high expectations. That's probably it.
Right. I think people just got very disheartened by the whole.
Yeah, we still have a very strong support area at $72.80. So that's extremely good support. And we also have support at the 50.
Thank you, Trey.
The 50 would give us support at 82.78. I like the 82.78 number. If it gets down there, it almost got down there today. I probably will add some more Sava. Right now, you got to like, for the short term, Sava more than Innovis, I think.
Indeed.
That's my conclusion. I mean, even the chart didn't really even totally collapse on this one, believe it or not.
Well, because you're still finding a slight bit of support. What is that, at the 50?
Yeah, we still have a low, and if this is a low today, we'll have a higher low. Sava could bounce back to 100 in a blink. I'm not giving up on Sava for sure, and I'm not even giving up on Novus. Not quitting on either of them. I'm being a stubborn Dr. J.
Got lucky.
Normally, I just hop out on any bad news like this with biotech, but
Well,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that this time. I'm
understood.
sticking it out.
Right. And this is AVXL, right?
I'm saying I don't know that Innovis is a bust, and I don't know that Sava is secure. But I do want to be in all of them: AVXL, Sava, Innovis, and the new one that I started on the other day, CRXT. And you're in one. What are you in again?
IMNB.
INMD. So we'll take a look at all of these AD plays. This also collapsed. No question. It was about $40. I think the high was around $40. We're 50% off the highs, more than 50%. Well, we'll see in a minute. I don't really remember what the high was. Maybe it was $30 or somewhere in between. Let's take a look.
So Professor Omar says that he sees support at 72 on Sava, and he's holding. Yeah, we're all holding.
$72.80. The high was 31 on this one, so it didn't quite get cut close. But it also has a turnaround candle today. It's bouncing today off the lows. Put in a low of 1775 and say point above. Let's see how high it can get by the end of the day.
Well, this one didn't overreact. I mean, it did overreact at some point, but moderated pretty quickly.
Well, it wasn't. The slide was from 22 to where we are now. 22.
No, I'm saying earlier on. I'm saying weeks ago.
Yeah, and then INMD.
INMB.
MB.
Yeah, that one didn't get. That was a little bit insulated.
Immune.
That's supposedly another play, and it also took a hit.
Yeah, it also way off the highs. Similar chart to AVXL.
Yeah. Oh, it's just another one of those, another one of those plays.
Yeah.
Like you said, and you had to see which one was yours. Yours was CRTX. Not to be mistaken with CTXR.
And here we have a gravestone doji put in, which I don't like. It's the opposite of Sava, in that Sava and AVXL are recovering. This one is first going down. Today's chart, it's not so good. But you have support at the 100. The 100 is 1492. So you're very close to support here. If indeed it's support.
Right.
If indeed it holds.
Like we said, people might be losing faith in the whole industry.
I don't think so. I think it's just a pause that refreshes.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, as far as needing a drug for this stuff, we know that's.
What is the symbol? CRTX?
See, you had it already up there. It was CRTX, yes. That was the other play that we had.
Yeah, I bought a little of this. I don't think I'm losing money on this even. This held up.
No, this one's very, very insulated.
It's still in the Zoom channel. The chart on this one is probably the best of the four we looked at. Maybe this is the one. Who knows? That's why I want to own them all, because whichever one, if any one of them pan out, that will more than cover your losses in the others.
Right. Well, that's true, and also, like we said, if the cocktail approach is what ends up being the rule of the game, then all of them will make it eventually, even if it's 5 years.
57.71 high today, and the high back here a week ago was 66. It didn't take that big a hit.
Hmm.
And we're still in the Zoom. We're at the bottom end of the Zoom channel, but we're holding trend. I mean, this one, the chart is, of all of them, this is the best on the chart. CRTX, best chart of a lot of them. Athesis is up off the low of $1.35. It's $1.59 today, up a penny. Pete asked me about that. Why do I can't get rid of those
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how you put them on in the first place.
Me forever now.
Maybe there are things that you could X out along the top. I'll show you when you get back on.
Oh yeah, I can just eliminate that chart, right?
You just X them. Yeah, the moving average. Yeah, you can, the first two.
How do I get rid of this?
Go all the way to the top of the chart area. Move to the left. You see all your indexes. Go all the way to the left.
I don't want to get rid of any of these.
No, but the very first one. One of these is the first two on that list.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got you. I think that does it.
Yep, there you go.
What would I do without you?
The show.
We have a beautiful cup and handle forming here. The cup part is forming on Athesis. I like cup and handle patterns, don't you? This is a very nice rounded bottom.
If it's round enough for you.
It's coming from the south, which I like too. In other words, it's a continuation pattern.
Gotcha.
It's been behaving fairly well since it hit the low of 135 back here on 719. Very nicely. So good news in that the chart looks pretty good. Will it find resistance at that 100? I don't know, maybe. But it busted through resistance at the 50 like it wasn't even there. So the chart is looking bullish. I have to admit the chart is bullish. When we will get news is like Jiggly says, in 2 days or 2 years.
Waiting for Godot.
2 days equals 2 years. Nice chart though off the lows. It's already a big move from 135 to 160. All right, very nice. So all those Athesis holders, you could feel good about the chart at least.
You want to do the Tilray now? Because you're gonna have to get going soon.
12. I have to end at 12. What time is it now? 12? I have time for one more. What do we do for one more?
We'll either do Tilray or Pete's NMTR.
Tilray, because I promised it.
Okay.
And BCRX if I can. And then really quick.
Right.
Tilray, I was looking for 1450 as an entry. And now it's 1482. So the 9-day is 1433. So let's say that was support back here. That's a nice location again for support. 1435. I think you can look for 1435 for entry here on Tilbury. I'm lowering my entry point. I think I had it as a high of the day here. No. Look, I mean, 1433, 1483, you can start nibbling now if you like this one. And keep buying it down to 1433. And then when it breaks below 1254, sell it all for a loss. Does that make any sense? I'm being a little facetious.
Well, I mean, there's hope that this whole industry is going to actually be profitable.
Yes. All right. So the run up to earnings is Dan bought it because he's expecting a run up to earnings, which may or may not happen.
Right.
Today it's on the downside.
It did. It's for whatever reason it kind of downgrade from Zacks, but I think that's just a bunch of baloney.
I think we're looking at support at probably to 50. The 50 is at 1607. All right, so the low 16s look like an interesting buy.
Yeah, it's as good a place if you're looking to get in for earnings. This is as good a place as any.
Trend line support would put you a little bit below that. Trend line support, let's say if it hits it here, be about $16. I'd say the low 16s are very good. We're going to wind up the show because it's 12 o'clock.
Right. We have to wish Linda good luck.
To do. Linda, good luck. Jiggly, good luck. And he's got a very good idea. I'm going to flash this and then call it a day. Let's go to Saratoga and bet some ponies. Saratoga is probably midway between Jiggly and us. Maybe we'll meet Jiggly at the track.
Right, that's the middle
Jiggly,
spot.
you're on. When do you want to meet?
I agree with that, Toma.
Jiggly was banned for being a card counter. Jiggly, that's a tough business, card counting.
Right, it really is.
Yeah. All right. I love it. Take care, everybody. Have a great, great weekend. We're going to see you all Tuesday, and we're all going to be richer on Tuesday. Don't ask me how, but I just feel it.
That's the hope.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye, Professor Omar. Bye, Pete. Bye, Linda. Bye, Sean. Sayonara. Shalom. Arrivederci. Hasta luego.